Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Rum on the Couch video number 87. Dave here from Manchester Rum Festival, and for this episode I wanted to showcase one of our main sponsors for Manchester Rum Festival, which is going to be next week on June the 18th, and that is these guys, Stratford Sodas. Now Stratford Sodas are actually quite new to the scene. They originated in 2020 and released themselves in 2021. Dan and Kate are the co-founders. I believe engaged as well, so a future man and wife. Always good to keep a good family brand available for us. But ultimately, this is something a little bit different to the previous years of our mixer sponsor. Last year, you may have remembered Coca-Cola's signature mixers. Year prior was Double Dutch. Year prior to that was Fentimans. And the very first festival we had was with Fever Tree. But I chose these guys because they are predominantly, in fact, no, that's not the word to use. They are rum mixers. They've been created as low sugar, natural flavors. So there's no, essences, E-numbers, anything like that. It's as real as it's going to get. But also they have been created to pair with different styles of rums. And the good thing is, not really specific. So it's not, for example, can only be used with dark rums, can only be used with light rums. Because we've got things like hedgerow, we've got tropical, citrus, and lastly, spiced as well. Great looking packaging, quite simplistic towards it as well. But I thought, obviously, you may have seen previous Rum on the Couches where we've had a look at mixes, maybe some cocktail, in a can or something like that. But ultimately with the mixes, I always like to try and pair it. So I've chosen 4 quite light rums, quite young rums. One of them is a little bit spiced as well. But I've gone completely, let's see what happens. So we're going to go for a bit of experimental style. And I'm going to start off with the citrus. This expression here. Now it's a secret blend of citruses, so I don't know what sort of citrus styles they are. Could be lemon, limes, oranges, grapefruits, we don't know. But ultimately, I'm going to pair it up with a bit of Hooley, which is the guys from the Outlier Distillery in Andrea in the Isle of Man. So let's give it a go on its own. Let's see what it's like. They've all come straight from the fridge. So they are chilled. Didn't want to get splashed all over my face. So let's give it a go as it comes. Light, clean. Actually quite soft as well. It hasn't got that sort of effervescent bubbliness towards it. I'm not too sharp either. Can't speak words anymore. I'm a guy who's got a sweet tooth. I'm not one for, biting into a lemon or anything like that. But that is actually quite nice. So I'm just going to top up a little bit more. And let me add some Hooley Manx white rum. Okay. Obviously, I understand these ratios maybe not as consistent, but it gives it a good idea. And automatically, that citrus is sort of kind of lifting a little bit the Hooley. Well, that's tasty. Again, quite soft. Likes the sort of, I don't use a effervescent feel to it, but it's not like you're just drinking rum and lemonade. It's sort of like, I wouldn't even say bitter lemon either. This is like that Sicilian lemonade feel from Fever Tree without the actual dryness. And I like the Fever Tree Sicilian lemonade, don't get me wrong, but this one's a lot lighter, a little bit softer. Probably a bit more round the edges as well. That sprig of mint would be beautiful right now. I was going to say on a hot summer's day, but it's very windy outside here in Manchester right now. But I mean, the Hooley white rum itself, it's all made on the Isle of Man. I'll put the link in for the Rum on the Couch for that one, so you can remind yourself of the tasting notes. But ultimately, that's a really good pairing. And I can see that, even at the top of a mojito, or adding that to the soda water could make a really good, refreshing alternative. So that's a good start. Let's go for a bit of tropical next. This one here. So the tropical, I'm going to pair up with some Beach House white spice rum from Mauritius. But let's give it a go first. So this one is flavoured with coconut and pineapple. I get the coconut straight away. I get that slightly more that juice, that fresh juice straight from the pineapple itself. That's an inviting nose. Dare I say, I get pineapple and I get coconut. Probably a bit more coconut than pineapple, but I think that's expected in my mind. It's got a kind of Solero sort of nose towards it, which I love because it reminds me of the beach. Reminds me of pina colada. So I'm going to add some Beach House White Spice Rum from Mauritius. Now this one is all about lychee, grapefruit, lime and passion fruit. So I thought this would work well with, hopefully, the coconut and the pineapple. But let's give it a go. Lots of fresh ingredients because the Beach House prides itself on those fresh ingredients as well. So this should be a good pairing. Fingers crossed. Oh, yes. It's like a fruit salad. That's good. And luckily, or maybe not as forward bursting as a fruit salad. I was thinking like those starbursts. But ultimately, I do get... Oh, there we go. It's actually that quite more fragrance aftertaste. Smells amazing. Oh, there's the rum. Probably need a bit of a stir on that one. Let's give it another go. Yeah, that's decent. Again, twist on a mojito. Maybe take out the mint. Maybe add some fresh. To be fair, make yourself a pineapple and coconut mojito. Could work really, really well with this. But the good thing is, again, with the fresh ingredients, you have that expectation. It doesn't taste fake. Doesn't have that sort of cheating element towards it, which is a big thing for me. I see it with rums. I always try and go for that true and authentic flavour profile. And these are coming through quite nicely. Probably got the ratio a little bit more there. There's a lot more rum came through, but I think I did put a bit more in there, but I should have done. But ultimately, again, that works. Probably the best one out of the two so far. But I'm intrigued about this one because if you know me already, I'm not a massive fan of spice. This one is cinnamon and ginger, which cinnamon, I can either love it or hate it, and I'm usually the latter. But let's give it a go. Again, quite light. I get the cinnamon, but I get more of the ginger on the palate. Slight heat on the back of my throat, but I think that could just be me and my lack of embracing spices. But again, I do get that fresh cinnamon stick. You know when you get the ones from out the package, you can smell it and you just get that slight woodiness that comes through on the nose. So you know there's cinnamon in there. Now I'm going to put a little bit of Cherry Reserve White Label from St. Lucia, splash into this one, because it's quite a neutral white rum, but ultimately at 43% ABV, you do get more of an uplift of more subtle flavours. So the cinnamon does come through a little bit more. I'd say the ginger actually is a bit more pronounced now as well. Maybe not as balanced as I was hoping. However, you do get more of the spice in the back of your throat. It's lifted it, and I suppose that's exactly what I was expecting it to do. So that does tick that box. It's not a bad pairing. Maybe it's not my favourite so far, but it has done exactly what I expected it to do. You still get you get a lot more of the heat coming through. I wouldn't say it's it's intense, but ultimately it's definitely there. Not bad, not bad. Not my favourite, but not bad. I was intrigued what that slightly higher ABV would do to this. Now, I have left, I think, my most intriguing pairing to the end. Obviously, this one does stand out in the pack of 4. This is Hedgerow, blackcurrant juice, and flavours of rose and blackberry as well. And you can see there, because I don't know if you can see it too well. Oh, excuse me. But it's coloured. And I'm expecting, with all the obviously fresh colouring, or fresh ingredients, sorry, that colour is natural. Smells amazing. I'm not a massive fan of berries. You know, I'm not one for raspberries or blackberries or anything like that. But that's an instantaneous aroma. Quite rich. Wouldn't say it's sweet. Definitely a lot more like, what's the word to use? Ripe. Yeah. That sort of ripe freshness towards it. And actually pretty good on its own as well. That's very refreshing. Now, I'm going to pair it up with this Clement Blanc 40% ABV from Martinique, because let's get using agricole rums, you know? Let's not be afraid of him to put it into a mixer. A tea punch is not always the way to go. Although I'll tell you what, if this does work, this would be a great little twist on a tea punch. It'll be bastardizing it maybe to a point, but ultimately that's how we make some amazing cocktails. You get the sugar cane coming through, you get a real terroir earthiness of the rum. And it's pairing, in my mind, beautifully well. That's good. And it's taken a little bit of the dryness that you'd expect from agricole, as this is unaged Martinique rum as well. It's a lot softer. It's a lot rounder as well. You still get the hedgerow coming through. This, I'm just thinking mojitos all the time. This is a great alternative to soda water, to really play around with some fresh ingredients, you know, replace that mint or that lime with other citrus, especially in the citrus expression of Stratford Sodas. You know, add in, this in a Bramble top up or something like that. So many alternative uses for this, but as just a rum and mixer alone, there's some really good pairings out there. I'm not saying all 4 worked here. I think the Chem's White Label may have been a bit too light. Maybe Chem's Original might have worked a little bit better for that one. But I was intrigued, and that's the cool thing about this. That's why I wanted Stratford Sodas to be part of Manchester Rum Festival this year, is to let's have a different chat about how to approach all these amazing rums. And there's 59 different brands at Manchester Rum Festival this year. So you're not lacking all of these opportunities to try in different ways. So if you do have a ticket for Manchester Rum Festival, make sure you pop over to Stratford Sodas stand, enjoy, embrace, have a chat with Kaylee and Dan, and try something a little bit different, but ultimately give them a go on its own as well. There's nothing worse than having a flavour profile, but you don't understand what it actually does to the rums if you don't know what it tastes like on its own. So if you're intrigued already, or you're not able to get to Manchester Rum Festival, and God knows why, but ultimately you can purchase these on the Stratford Sodas website. So give the guys a follow on their social media. Take a look at their website. I know their social media has a lot of other rum pairings as well, so maybe there's already a bottle of rum you have at home, which works perfect with one of these 4 expressions, or even 1 or 2 of them. There's a lot of variation here. I think that Beach House white rum may actually work quite well with the spice, just sort of balance out that fresh fruits and the subtle spices of cinnamon and ginger. But either way, that's the cool thing about Stratford Sodas. So ladies and gentlemen, make sure you give them a go. Try something a little bit different. It's a great team to start working with, and ultimately I'm fairly confident they'll be here for the foreseeable future, because this is unique, this is a little bit different, and it's not all about cola as well. And don't get me wrong, I love a good rum and coke. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if I don't see you next Saturday, I will see you at the next Rum and a Couch. Got a couple of bottlings lined up. Very intrigued to crack them open and give them a go and share my thoughts and experiences with you all. Until then, I will see you soon.